I'm back. Rudrance for Black and White Network. Well, we're going to talk about Bob Iger, the former head honcho over at Disney. And he has come out and made some comments, some rather shocking comments. But he fully and totally regrets promoting Bob Chapek into his old prior position. Pretty shocking that this has gotten out publicly in the way that it has. Now, of course, Chapek has been publicly feuding with Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, and Ron DeSantis has given Disney a massive beatdown. But Bob Iger is not without his faults. Okay, now, under the Disney umbrella is Lucasfilm, which is Star Wars, MCU, which is Marvel. Now, they were going down the road of political and woke ideologies being all throughout that content for the last couple of 3 years of Bob Iger's tenure. Now, there were rumors out there on and off over a 3-year span that Bob Iger was finally going to fire Kathleen Kennedy. He never did it. Instead, he was gone. He was out. Okay, but my God, Star Wars was full of identity politics, and now Marvel has went off the deep end as well. Let's get to this. Very interesting. Ex-Disney boss Bob Iger reportedly regrets tapping Bob Chapek as his CEO. And one of the things that gets brought up in here is Florida. Ex-Disney boss Bob Iger is still reportedly unhappy about the way the Mouse House handled his exit and considers naming current CEO Bob Chapek as his successor one of, quote, his worst business decisions. This is the New York Post. Iger, who stepped down as Disney CEO in early 2020, just before the COVID-19 pandemic hit, came to regret his decision as the scope of the challenge facing the company became clear, according to the report. Quote, he said he was tired of being harangued about succession and said, fine, you guys have someone else run the business. A former Disney executive told Insider regarding Iger's initial decision to step down and name Chapek to succeed him. He greatly regretted it as soon as COVID hit, the executive added. While the succession plan called for Chapek to report to both Iger and the Iger-led Disney board, their relationship soured quickly. The two executives reportedly disagreed on several key elements of Disney's business, including how the company should be structured internally, its handling of political matters, and its response to the COVID-19 pandemic. The dysfunction was so significant that Iger and Chapek had their own advisory teams that occasionally competed, according to the report, which cited Disney sources and people familiar with Iger's thinking. Disney did not immediately return a request for comment. Iger quickly chafed at Chapek's leadership style and reportedly found his successor to be, quote, a novice in responding to talent management concerns and politics adjacent disputes, such as the company's infamous contract dispute with Black Widow actress Scarlett Johansson and its clash with Florida Governor Ron DeSantis over the GOP-backed, quote, don't say gay law. Wow. Iger also purportedly viewed Chapek as, quote, arrogant and uninterested in other people's opinion. Disney executives who were, quote, deeply loyal to Iger found his decision of Chapek to be confusing, according to one former executive. Quote, no one expected it to fall apart this fast. Wow. When Iger stepped down as CEO in February 2020, effective immediately, tensions between him and Chapek were already running high. The board had expected Iger to remain as CEO through the end of that year. Quote, it was Bob Iger's desire to move the timeline up, and if COVID hadn't happened, none of the stuff between him and Bob Chapek would have transpired. The discord continued even after Iger formally exited his role as executive chairman. When Disney faced criticism for remaining silent over Florida's Don't Say Gay legislation, Iger publicly contradicted his replacement, noting on February 24th that he agreed with President Biden's stance that it was a hateful bill. Wow, okay. In March, CNBC reported that Iger's commentary on the matter had chafed Chapek, The report said the two men had a falling out and rarely speak. Tensions between Iger and Chapek reportedly remain high, with the pair exchanging little more than a cordial greeting when crossing paths at the Sun Valley Conference earlier this month. The spat between Disney and DeSantis culminated in the Florida governor stripping the entertainment giant of its special tax status within the state. Disney's missteps prompted widespread speculation that Chapek would be ousted as the CEO, with some floating the idea that Iger could return to replace him. But Disney gave Chapek a fresh extension in June, which makes no sense, complete with a $20 million annual bonus, a sign that he still has the board's confidence. So, Iger supposedly did not like the handling of the Ron DeSantis, Bob Chapek Disney feud, and I'm sure Iger is pissed off to no end that they lost that self-governing special tax status down there in Florida. But again, Bob Iger was no peach. He was no peach at all. He was said and had shown over many years to be a shrewd businessman, and part of his legacy was, he acquired MCU, he acquired Lucasfilm, and he badly wanted Star Wars. A lot of people believe he tricked George Lucas into signing it over. We don't know that for sure, but that's always been a rumor that's been floating around out there. But what I've got to think is Iger's thinking, I would have never let things in Florida get as bad as they have gotten, to the point that we literally lost our self-governing status. I'm sure a businessman, because that's going to cost Disney billions of dollars, okay? And they had lost somewhere in the neighborhood about 6 weeks ago, as of 6 weeks, 2 months ago, they had lost about $63 billion off their overall value, and their stocks plummeted to like a 2-year low after Chapek. And look, it was Chapek that started feuding with Ron DeSantis. Chapek decided to listen too much to his employees that were radical leftists. By the way, a lot of Disney employees that aren't radical leftists come out and slam Chapek over that, and I'm sure Iger's shaking his head over that as well. So it's hard to get a read right here from looking at this, what exactly pissed Iger off the most. But Iger wanted to make money. He always did. And Chapek, and look, Iger didn't want Disney to look terrible in the public eye, even though at times, even under him, it didn't look great. Okay, his mishandling and not firing of Kathleen Kennedy is his biggest black eye from a content standpoint. So, but look, Iger floated this for some reason. Iger floated this out and let this get out for some reason. My gut feeling would be the fact that Disney gave Chapek an extension probably set Iger off behind closed doors. Because I bet Iger was going to get rid of Bob Chapek, and Disney cut him off at the knees. He's probably none too thrilled about that. Interesting. They're barely talking. Wow. Tell me what you think, Black and White Network supporters. Wow. Iger hates Chapek. I'm sure the feeling is mutual. We hate both of you and Disney. Peace. I'm out. Till next time. Black and White Network supporters, make sure you check out the Black and White Network merchandise store. Link in the description. Use promo code USA First, all one word. USA First, all one word. 25% off now.